Hey Internet, Eric here. New concept coming to this channel, or a new playlist at least. If you've been watching my channel lately, you may have noticed I've been participating in the Horror Man's Slashback Saturday Challenge. And what that is over on the Horror Man's channel, he picks a certain theme, and then you have a week to discuss a certain slasher film that you think fits that category. Well, my buddy over at the Need Gore channel has told me about this guy, this new channel that I've come across, the Horror Freak 85, and he basically does the same thing, except his is called Fright Friday. And lucky me, my first time finding out about this channel and this concept, which I think is really fun. I really used to enjoy doing like tag videos, but they seem to kind of die down now. But these whole discussion challenges or what have you, weekly discussion challenges, have become a lot of fun. And I lucked out because this week is reviewer's choice, so I can review any horror movie that I want to. No specific theme. And I'm going to take this opportunity to discuss the film that I'm surprised I haven't discussed yet on this channel, People Under the Stairs. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you, all that jazz. Came out in 91. Sadly, to me, seems like a forgotten Wes Craven film. Whenever you hear Wes Craven, people always say, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Last House on the Left, Shocker, even. And it doesn't seem like anyone really talks about People Under the Stairs, which is disappointing. Basic plot is we're following a young boy named Fool. Real name's Poindexter. His sister is in a tarot card, so she named him Fool after the Fool tarot card. And it's just they live in the projects, a really run-down building. Mom's dying of some type of illness. I don't know if it's cancer or what have you. And Ving Rhames is dating, I believe, Fool's sister, and he basically tells Fool, I said, you, me, and this guy Spencer, we're going to break into this home, which is the home of the landlords who own the slums. I was going to say the slummy building, the dilapidated building, that they live in. And they own like the liquor store down the street, and a bunch of other buildings in the neighborhood. They're going to rob them and then use the money to help the family and what have you. Although Ving Rhames will probably be the type of the guy to kick Fool to the curb and take the money and run. But while they're there, they find out that the landlords are murderous psychopaths who have been kidnapping children over the years, and if the children do something that they don't like, they lock them in the basement in the dark for years on end. One of those people, children, they're teenagers, what have you, has escaped and is crawling through the walls. And while this is also happening, Fool meets a young girl named Alice who is being held prisoner. She's the only female there. So while Fool is trying to escape, he's also going to do his best to try to rescue Alice. I love this movie. So much fun. Like I said, sadly a forgotten Wes Craven film. Characters, I really enjoy the character Fool. Brandon Adams plays him. I only know him from like the Mighty Ducks movies and an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But really likable. He's charismatic at times. He's not over the top. He's funny at times. You believe him that he's doing this to take care of his mom, because there's a really good scene where he's, it's not overly cheesy, where he's basically saying, I'm going to find a way to make you better, Mom, at her bedside. When he's talking to Alice and he's trying to convince her to leave, you buy it. When he's talking shit to either Ving Rhames or the male landlord, you buy it. It's not too over the top. Brandon Adams is really good. I'm surprised you don't really see him. Oh, he's also in The Sandlot. A.J. Langer plays Alice. She's decent. Nothing special. She's usually there just to be scared and be quiet. Ving Rhames is Ving Rhames, big scary dude. Does what he's supposed to do. The person under the stairs that has escaped is named Roach. He's played by Sean Whalen. Just type in Sean Whalen. He's been in everything. He's been in Twister. I know that off the top of my head. You'll know who he is. But his thing is, I like him because he's got no dialogue. His tongue has been cut out because I think he tried to call the cops on these people. And he's real skinny and gaunt, and all of his acting is body language because he can't talk, and the facial expressions. He's a very endearing character, very likable, funny at times, good rapport, as short as it is on screen with the Alice character. So Roach is really likable. And now let's get to the landlords, who go by the name Mommy and Daddy. because they're trying to make the perfect family. First off, we got Wendy Roby, who plays Mommy. Psychotic bitch when she needs to be over the top and psychotic, but when she's really scary is when she tones it down. Like, one of my favorite scenes in this whole movie is when we find out that there's something in the walls, and Mommy walks in on Alice, and Alice has just got done eating her food, and Mommy takes the plate. She looks at it and just quietly she says, and a little bit menacing, she says, "You didn't lick this clean, did you?" And of course Alice says, "No, no, no." And then, Daddy walks in, and what does she say? She says something like very, very quietly and subtly. She says, "She's been feeding that thing in the walls again." And of course, Everett McGill, he plays Daddy, takes his belt off, so he's gonna beat the shit out of her. And she says just something like, "Don't bruise her face." So when she's low key like that, that's when she's scary. So like, there's a scene where cops come in, and she's got to play it nice and clean, and you can tell this bitch is dangerous. So I like her. And then, like I said, Daddy's played by Everett McGill from Twin Peaks and Silver Bullet, and he's just like her when he's low key and quiet. He's very scary, very imposing, very menacing. But like, if you think she's over the top, this motherfucker is like 211, like they say in Spinal Tap, that cliche, because he is yelling and screaming and creepy. Like, there's a scene where Alice has been taken hostage, like she's tied up to something in the attic because she was helping Fool, and he shows up and he's in the background. I think he's talking to her. She says, "Please let me go," or something. All he does is he just grabs his crotch and starts rubbing it. So he's good at being creepy and disgusting like that. But then by the end of the film, when he's chasing Fool around the house, he's dressed like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction, and he's just chasing Fool around, shooting randomly with a fucking shotgun. Or earlier when he's chasing Fool, dressed as the Gimp again, he's sicking his dog Prince, I think. Was Prince a Doberman? I don't know. Who eats flesh because they've been feeding him the dead bodies of the random robbers that have either robbed their house or, robbed the liquor store that they own or what have you. Totally batshit crazy, dangerous characters, and I love them. That's about it character-wise. I mean, what's her name? Kelly Jo Minter from like Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and Mask. She plays Fool's older sister. She's good at what she does. She's always been a good actress, but she's barely in the film. But those are the main people. Really like them. I like how Wes Craven is really good at making you feel claustrophobic. Like when Alice and Fool and Roach, whatever that combination, when they're running through the walls, running away from Daddy, you got that closed-in feel. Like, and the way the camera's following them at such a quick pace, you're so cramped. There's no way a dude my size would fit through that. So it's smart that they got young actors to play these roles, because kids could easily fit through them. But it's so fast paced, and like the way the walls on the inside look, they're so broken down. You just catch a nail or something when you're not paying attention. Really good the way Wes makes you feel cramped. And like there's even times when Brandon Adams and AJ Langer, they have to they're back against the wall just to scoot across. So really cool claustrophobic cramped feeling. I like the set of the basement. Very simple, very empty, very creepy. It's dark, it's dingy. The only light is basically coming from a TV that the people under the stairs are watching, that's in a separate room. It's got this really scary feel to it because it's a basement with almost nothing in it. The only time we see something else other in it is when Fool's being held captive, by Daddy, and Daddy's carving up Ving Rhames and eating them and stuff like that. So it's a really creepy environment. So great sets. The gore, not too over the top. We get some stabbings, we get some shootings. Everett McGill gets knocked over the head with the lid of the toilet seat, or not the toilet seat itself, but the back of the toilet. Fool hits him and knocks him, so he walks around with a bloody head for a little while. But I guess the biggest scene of gore is what I just mentioned, when Everett McGill is carving up Ving Rhames, and he's eating parts of them and he's throwing parts of them to the people. And then when he's got this big giant well in the basement, so he opens that up and he drops the dead bodies. And so I guess the most gore we get is Ving Rhames' dead body, and then we find out that Prince does eat the flesh of the robbers, previous robbers. He's chewing on a hand that's like in his doggy dish or whatever. So not overly gory, but it's done in a way where you feel uncomfortable, like watching Prince, even though it's a latex hand. Prince, the dog, he's eating someone's hand. And like I said, just it's a really gross dead body of Ving Rhames, and especially with Everett McGill just eating him and like blood dripping from his chin. And again, Everett McGill looking fucking psychotic. Great creepy feel to that scene, but not overly gory. Soundtrack score's decent when it's action. Other than that, I don't really remember much. I know the movie ends with maybe like a rap song. I don't know. What else was I gonna say? I like the look of the people under the stairs. They're very skinny. They haven't been in the sun for God knows how long, so they're fucking gray and bleached white, tattered clothes. They look like zombies because they've been out of the sun for so long. They're so malnourished, but what I like is they look like zombies, but they're not, and that's what's great. They're not all mentally there because of the trauma that they've gone through, but I like the look of people that look like the undead, but they're not the undead. And Alice says that like Roach got his tongue cut out because he tried to call the cops or something. All these kids or teenagers or whatever, people under the stairs, have had that happen to them. Either their tongues are come because there's like this hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil motif that's going all throughout the house. So if they tried to call for help, the mommy and daddy cut out their tongues. If they heard something that they shouldn't have heard, they cut their ears off. If they saw something, they cut their eyes out or something like that. So if you look, I can't notice which ones don't have ears, but there are certain people under the stairs that are wearing masks to cover their eyes, I guess to cover the eye sockets or some shit like that. Action scenes are fun. I like when Daddy's chasing anyone in this film, either when he's chasing them normally or when he's dressed as a gimp and he's just going crazy with the shotgun. I love the end confrontation with Alice and Mommy, even though at this time they both are a little over the top. When Mommy meets her demise, it's great because the people under the stairs have gotten out and they're going after her, and they're coming out of the cabinets of the kitchen or under the light, where above the stove, and it's this really creepy feeling where this bitch is gonna get fucked up, and it's a really cool visual just seeing them come out of everywhere after her. Love that. And I love how this film ends. Like after Mom and Daddy have been killed, the townspeople are celebrating because Mom and Daddy have been killed, and what I like is you get to see that some of the people under the stairs are now back in society. Where are they going to go? Are they going to go home? Do they even remember where home is, type of thing? So you got to let your mind go to, what happens next. But it's a really cool scene. I like that they are free. Not scary at all. It's one of those Wes Craven films where certain times you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Like it's not, Last House on the Left uncomfortable, but it's not scary like Nightmare on Elm Street, or it's not overly fucking cheesy like Shocker. There's some cheesy parts, but it's not like Cursed, because I heard that one was bad because it's too fucking cheesy. This is just a fun time. I really wish it wasn't overshadowed by, say, a Nightmare on Elm Street or all the other films that I mentioned other than Cursed. Highly recommend The People Under the Stairs. Great characters. Bad shit crazy villains. Great visuals. That creepy feeling when being cramped when they're running through the walls. Highly recommend People Under the Stairs. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment below, all that jazz. Check out the channel, The Horror Freak 85. He says this is open to anyone, just like the Horror Man says about him and his challenges. Check out The Horror Freak 85. Give him a like, give him a sub. Participate in his Fright Fridays. Yeah, so in the end I'll say cheers and feel like $1,000,000.